Okay, Roger. So I felt like I kind of left off the last video a little bit quick. So I just kind of wanted to just quickly clarify. And this is my second video because I said all this great stuff that made sense in the last video, and it got freaking. And whatever, for whatever reason, I freaking hit the wrong button or something like that, and it stopped taping. So I just wanted to make sure that I mention that the feedback that I had, wasn't like negative feedback as far as the pace on your balls or your shots. It sounds funny when I say that, but the pace on your shots and stuff. But it's just something just to notice and to just be able to work around, or just like work with, given your just given who you are as a player, and what you produce as a player. You're playing at your highest level, and it's just time to look at everything from the strongest link to the so-called weakest link to all of those things. And so that's just basically what it's about. And again, this is like a fourth video I've made today. So I don't know what I've said in all of the other videos, so I'm just going to repeat myself and hope that it's not in the video that I'm going to upload. But, I think, clearly it seems to me like you're playing so much more from the baseline right now that you've sort of concluded, possibly from what I've seen, from what I've been able to ascertain, is that you have probably thought that coming to net doesn't work so much. And I think it's just about I don't think you should abandon coming to net so much, but of course it's not gonna work a lot, too much with these players playing the top level of their game, and being able to just, have natural peripheral vision. Because once you're, like, hurrying up and rushing to net, they already know, like, let me send the ball in the other direction, and they end up creating a winner. So I could kind of, just basically see why you kind of, I suspect have just dropped coming to net as much and just sort of playing from the baseline. But the thing that opens you up, like, when you are playing from the baseline, is that your shots are fast at first, but then they decrease in speed as they hit over the net, and it makes it extremely digestible for other players to just, even step in early on your shots and just throw some extra speed on it and knock you back on your heels. So as you go into, Paris, and you go into, just the absolute, you're not even in the final leg, you're kind of in the final 50 meters of the actual entire race of a season. And, as you do that, it'd be great to just know, once again, as I mentioned in my other videos, like, becoming even more aggressive, like looking where you could become more aggressive, like, where can I put away the ball more? Where am I hesitating? Where am I giving other players a chance? And like my other video where I said you had reset a play, you were winning, you had Murray on his heels, and he was kind of awkward. Which, by the way, like, Murray's been pounding himself so hard. I was like, he's eventually going to get injured. I shouldn't say it like that. I know, I don't like Murray, but I don't wish him an injury on him, and that's the truth. But, I just look at how hard he was pounding, the way he moves, and then he had that back issue. That's what I was thinking in Shanghai, like, you know what, the way he's playing looks so hard on his knees and maybe even his hips, and then he had that back issue a couple days later. So, but anyway, I don't even know what I was saying, but, playing at the baseline, I'm a mess. Playing at the baseline, I think, sometimes the shots can be taken advantage of because they end up being a little more digestible, and it's just worth looking at. Like, you're not doing anything wrong, it's just what it is, and just please don't construe that as sort of like a put down or anything, because your game, it's the greatest of all time. But it's really good to look at, the doors that are open, that other players can capitalize on and walk through. So you want to close all of the doors. And so, again, I think being more aggressive, like figuring out where you could be more aggressive, taking on the ball earlier. And when you take on that ball, you have to take it on to put it away. I don't think if you take on the ball early, then it leaves you into like more of the mid-court, I guess you could say, and then it leaves you more vulnerable for a passing shot. So you've got, for me, in my modest tennis experience, nevertheless, it never stops me from trying to advise you. It's crazy. I make these videos and I'm like, what the hell? I don't understand where all this comes from. But you just open yourself up. Like, if you're not going in for the kill when you come in, you decide to cross that baseline, then you're pretty much most of the time going to lose that shot, because these guys are too good. They're not as good as you, but they are able to capitalize on some open doors, some doors that you leave open. And I think that's worth looking at. You didn't get to number one in the world for just on a fluke. You didn't. And but it's just worth it to know that these guys are kicking up their gears. Then they're learning what it takes to actually pull out a win, or what they've got to exploit and capitalize consistently and ferociously in order to get past you. And so that's another thing I don't know if I got in any video that I'm going to upload, but just be careful as well, like to not let that be misconstrued as you not performing well. You're performing at the top and highest level. I think it's just, again, like I say, being able to see on TV, is that the shots don't have as much pace on them, but they have a lot of good pace. And I think a good, and I mean this in a really good way. I mean to say this in the interest as a fan who cares about you, and to say this in the interest as just you being able to look at something and go, oh, okay, you know what, you're right. Like, okay, if I just close out this open door, then I'll be able to gain the points I need to break, a break point or whatever, not get broken. So, like I said, it's not only me, but it's a lot of fans, because it's just simply easy to notice on television that, your shots are fast, your serve is sick, your moves are sick. All of that, Roger. Like, that. But, sometimes the pace on the ball is just, you can notice it on television. It's not as quick, or it loses a little speed by the time it just crosses the net and the other player is able to digest it or process it and knock you back on your heels. So what I mean knock you back on your heels is suddenly just put so much damn speed on it that, you've just barely released the ball, and they put so much damn speed on it that, it's like they send you on the run or scrambling, not to, I'm going to say I've really seen you scrambling ridiculously or anything. So that's not to be misconstrued either. But, as you come into just understanding the dynamics of guys who are taller than you and who are able to generate a lot more power, and if you're able to just watch the matches on TV, you can just see the difference. And the differences may be a little bit subtle, but they're enough to make a difference in making things difficult for you as a player. So in my interest as a fan who cares about you and wants to make things easier for you, that is the reason why I mention this. And it's no different than me walking into a company and saying, you know what, you're spending, you are spending thousands of dollars on plastic bags or something like that when you can just recycle, or something, something like that, like the open door, like to close some doors that are open, and you'll be able to retain your standing. It's the best thing to do, just to be able to retain the momentum of your skill and your effect on the court in order to win, which you're the more skillful player than any one of those guys out there. And it's not to say they aren't good, but I'm just saying you're gooder. So, just to be able to close all doors, close all windows and hatches, that leave any sort of opportunity for anyone to exploit and be able to get past you. So that's it. I think you get what I'm saying, because I'm being very repetitive here, but be interesting to see you again. Step in, take the ball earlier, go for the kill when you do it. The rushing to net thing doesn't work because the other player sees it in his peripheral vision and ends up creating a passing shot. So I get why you kind of drop doing that, but it's worth looking at coming to net in a different way. And I'll hopefully, if I were working for you, I'd have the time to really do this freaking analysis. Oh my God, I tell you, I would do such an amazing analysis for you. Speed on your shots, placement of shots, percentages at net and stuff like that. And I know those percentages are already out there, but, just turning that data into something, where you could just see really that you're playing extremely well and you're still so very much in the running for many years to come. It's just that some doors are open. And as you go, I want to see you win Paris. I want to see you win. I want to see you win London for sure, While not getting so caught up in the number one ranking or anything like that. You just, as long as you're soldiering on, whatever happens, you'll have a chance at the ranking next year. You'll have an even better chance, perhaps. You have a lot of points to defend and stuff like that, but if you close these doors, you'll be all right, And then there small things, like I said, I don't know if I said it in another video, but even things like looking at small things like your diet, like looking at the difference of Djokovic, who went on a gluten-free diet, and how that really transformed his game, like how he was able to, totally come in and dominate and not have these breathing attacks and all this stuff. So, I think I mentioned this in my video. If you're like eating things like cheese or, something even as small as like dairy products, the difference of just cutting that down radically. And I don't even know if you eat dairy, but I imagine you eat very well. But I think I already repeated this in my other video. So, I think that's it. Just really opening it up to how much in almost every second of the game can you really create winners. And I know you're already a creator, and I know you're already that. But it's a nice combination of being able to play while you don't have time, while you're not given time. As Burditch says, you don't like it when people don't give you time. So not letting, being able to play off kilter. And I think, taking the freaking ball on early. You don't always have to run the net, but if you are going to step over that baseline, you make sure that you're going for the kill. And I feel like there's times at the TV where it's like, go ahead, Roger, put it away. But it costs so much because you keep it in play. I don't know how to explain it, and I don't know if that's like tennis culture or something like that. Like if you were to hit winners all the time, you guys secretly feel or tacitly feel that would be boring for us to watch, or that would be boring tennis for you to play or something like that. I don't know, but it's worth it to even incorporate that for 5 to 10 minute intervals in your game. Like you don't have to use it for the entire game, but sneak attack it for a 5-minute focus, at the top of a set, closing out a set or whatever, or closing out break points, converting break points, securing the break point, and also at the end of closing out the match. You could do that, but it would be very interesting, and I think it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. It'll make a huge difference. So those are really things where I think the doors are open. There are other things too, but, of course, I don't have time to really prepare, and then I just go straight off the head all the time, which is why a lot of times I feel like I'm just freaking rambling. So, yeah, but listen, good luck. And I think, I know that you could actually win Paris. You can win London just the way you did last year. But I think that if you're not taking the ball early, if you're not understanding the open door of the pace, the dynamic between you and the player who is 6'2" and up, with longer arms and longer legs and longer reach, or able to sort of counter your effectiveness, then you're going to end up struggling That's where the struggle is, because the door is open. So you got to close the door and learn how to sort of deal with these guys a little more aggressively. These 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" guys, and 6'8". The Del Potros, the Berdych, the Djokovic, the Murray. I don't know how tall Murray is, and I imagine he's between 6'2", and 6'3", or 6'2" and 6'4", maybe even. So yeah, I mean, once you get really just, I don't want to say realistic about it, but just once you put that into perspective, then you're really going to see that, you can actually really win this. You can take it all, and you can run with this so far. I always say you can run with it so far, but I haven't made a mistake in life yet. I have to say, when I see talent, when I know how far talent can go, and that's even, it's funny, because even Serena, when she was 17, I knew for me, she was a better player. I mean, Venus had come out first or whatever, but there was something about Serena, and I know people probably like, you're freaking lying. You're a liar. But I swear. And it's not only her, it's other things too, it's other sports as well. So I know you could take this extremely far, but, those are important things to look at. And if you dot those I's and cross those T's, as we say in the U.S., you're going to find yourself securing a lot more wins, and with a lot more ease and less stress. Less stress on your body, and just less mental stress. And so in the interest of also, like, closing out the season, I don't want to get too far out and stuff like that, but again, I think I mentioned, like, where do you, once you rejuvenate and relax after the season is over, like, where do you want to go? How do you want to approach next season? And, like, how could you be even more so your best friend on court? How do you want to start off the year? How do you want to set the pace of the year? Do you want to set the tone for the entire men's tour? How do you want to run the race next year? But I don't want to throw all of that out right now. It probably sounds like such a headache to think about, since you still have quite a few things in front of you. But, I think, again, you're doing great, and there's no reason, honestly, there's no real reason. You're extremely fit, you're in top form, you're at the top of your game, and I think if you just sort of look at those little things that I talked about, you'll be able to have an easier way to securing a win, if not just straight up securing a win, and going back to a couple of things this season too, like I said, back at Wimbledon, that Ryan Harrison shot, like converting that, that aggressively offensive shot, putting him on the run into a kick-ass defense, or rather, in a reverse offense for him. So yeah, I hope that made sense. But, like, just coming back to some of the points from this year, too, and just going, oh, you know what? I was using that, and it kind of edged off on that, and I kind of want to use it again because it was working. That kind of thing is at the end of the year, approaches and stuff like that, just revisiting sort of the things that really worked this year, making sure that you are incorporating them still, or that you're either developing them or transitioning them into something even more effective. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Good luck. I'm so behind you. I wish you the best, And I wish, I don't know, you must have created some kind of reality where you have so many people who just want you to win so badly and who love you so much, Roger Federer. It's really, really fun. Like, I marvel at the fact that I'm like, I love to make these freaking videos. I love talking to you. I love talking on these videos. And it's still inexplicable to me. So, anyway, good luck. But I do want to see you win, and I know you can do it. And, number one ranking will be there. Just keep your head down, keep soldiering on. And I think at this point in time, you've done everything, like, with your mental game. You're on top of your mental game in a lot of ways. I mean, of course, you had mental strain against Del Potro in the Olympics, and strain, I think you really wanted to do, you really wanted to progress and really take advantage of the U.S. Open, after coming off such a great tournament. I keep saying Cleveland. It's Cincy. But, just keep soldiering on. And I think if you just keep looking... Oh, there's the cutest little kittens running around in this parking lot. Aww. Anyway, so... I think if you keep, just soldiering on and just looking at the fact that your skill is great, that these guys aren't playing better than you, but there's some open doors that they're able to take advantage of you, So it's really good to look at that. I mean, they are beatable. You took Djokovic out at Wimbledon this year. You took Murray out. I'm all confused. When did you take Murray out? Wimbledon. So, it's not just being on grass, The people are just they're so annoying because I thought originally you were the king of hardcourt. And now it's like you are, well, everyone knows Roger's just great on grass. And I'm not making fun of the British accent. I love it. And I'm not making fun of British people, but I'm saying there was some Americans, on this annoying blog, just talking about that. I'm like, it's nothing new. Like, Roger plays great on all surfaces. I'm sorry, Roger plays really great on all surfaces. So, it's not just playing on grass. But, yeah, I'm just rambling on and talking right now, totally shooting a breeze. But good luck. I think if you look at those small things, those are the things that are going to carry you over to the win. You could totally take Paris. And you could totally take London. No matter what happens tomorrow, you can definitely do it. I know you can do it. I know you're in a great and strong position to just beat Djokovic at any time, really. If you just keep closing out these small gaps, not only the difficulties that he's able to present, but even players of a lower caliber. I don't want to say lower caliber, but lower ranked players. So looking at those things. I'm going to try if I have the time. Oh my God, if I have the time to do it, I really want to sit down and I'm going to take one of those YouTube highlights and then I'm going to comment on them and kind of like what I did earlier this year with Ryan Harry, during Wimbledon. And so anyway, all right, I'm going. Have a good night. It's so funny. It's like 30 minutes after I made the other video, and it's completely like dark out here. To see the city, can you tell? It's the Empire State Building, and then I don't know what that bright blue light is next to it. And then there's of course that's not the Chrysler Building. The Chrysler Building is in there, but it's very small. Anyway, all right, you guys. Roger, take care. Good luck. Definitely look at that. Look at coming in net in a different way. Look at taking on the ball early. Looking at making sure when you're taking on the ball early that you are making sure that you put that ball away. I'm telling you, like, you can't afford to play footsie. I'm not saying that you're screwing around up there, but I'm just saying, like, you got to get into assassin's mode if you want to get past these guys at this point in time. So yeah, I'll talk to you later. I've seen you do it in the past, but just on a more, it calls for a more consistent basis. Now, talk to you. Bye-bye.